So I finished watching. Well, I didn't finish watching. I'm on the fourth episode. It's the last episode of the Tokyo trial, and this whole series is about the basically like a tribunal, and they're educating, they're basically judging the Japanese on their wars of aggression. And I found the Netflix series very interesting. Especially the games that Justice Pal and Justice Kramer and Justice Rowling and Justice Webb. They always it's always there's always a power dynamic happening constantly between all of the judges. So Justice Pal, this guy right here, the brown guy in the picture, he's from India and he's been appointed by the Indians. Justice Kramer, the white guy, well, there's four white people, but Justice Kramer is the justice from England, and Justice Webb, he's the president of the tribunal. So what's happening in this series is they are basically looking at the Japanese politicians, the Prime Minister Tojo and the cabinet that voted for war against the United States and their allies. And they're trying to judge and find, a judgment for these people, whether or not they should be tried and whether or not they should be set free or guilty of wars of aggression. And they're using a charter, they're using Nuremberg as a precedent to charge the Japanese. And they're using the Pact of Paris as a instrument to judge whether or not they feel that they have a legal precedent. They're using the Pact of Paris as a legal precedent and the Charter. What was that sound? But so, the series is very interesting. I enjoyed it a lot. And, I find it interesting that Justice Powell kind of wants the accused to be set free, but he feels that it's because the Pact of Paris, well, it's not that he feels, it's the truth. The Pact of Paris doesn't have any consequences for waging aggressive war, and it doesn't name any individuals as perpetrators. So how can you judge someone and say they're guilty for committing a crime that doesn't have any legal, like, you're judging them for something that wasn't a crime when they did it. So you're judging them expo facto. How do you say it again? You're judging them expo facto. I don't know how you guys say it, but you guys get what I'm talking about, hopefully. But you're judging them later. And when they did it, and then when they did the supposed crime, it wasn't a crime when they did it. So how do you judge that person? It doesn't make a lot. I would tend to agree with Justice Powell, but at the same time, how are you going to set the accused free? They killed millions and millions of people. They committed war crimes against humanity, in my opinion, with the Nanking massacre. They murdered and brutalized hundreds of thousands of people, and the politicians that waged aggressive war are just going to be allowed to set free because of some piece of paper. So because a piece of paper says that what they did wasn't a crime when they did it, they're going to be set free. That's kind of what I took from the show. And the constant mind games that Kramer is playing, I didn't really like Kramer that much. Even though Justice Rowling, the justice from the Netherlands, he is a bit of a character. He's pretty cool. I mean, not cool is in the sense that I find him fascinating. It's just that he tries to be impartial and really honest. And Kramer is just really weird because he said that the President Webb from Australia, that guy, he's trying to be too neutral. Isn't that what a judge is supposed to be? Isn't a judge supposed to be neutral? Isn't a judge supposed to be impartial? Like what? A judge is supposed to be neutral. Isn't that what you want? But Kramer just wants everybody to follow and respect the charter, and then they will have an agreed upon verdict before the trial is over. It gives me a little bit of an insight of how judges actually work, and it was interesting to watch. Yeah, some judges are just full of shit, and some judges are honest and fair. And and then there's this instance of Rowling and this other girl that he's playing violin with, and she's an expert piano player, and she's trying to run interference, and she's trying to get Justice Rowling to jeopardize his standing in the court case and to influence his decision making. And she doesn't want Tojo to die, which is strange. And she's trying to get him to talk to the defendant's family members. Like, that's gonna jeopardize Rowling's fucking position as a judge. He's supposed to be impartial. He's a judge, dude. So, what did I like the most about this? I enjoyed it like very much. And then there was like the testimonies from the people that were talking about the death march, the Bataan death march, and yeah, very fascinating stuff. I find it very interesting that the Japanese to this day they deny all of the war crimes. They deny everything really, which is interesting again. And the Japanese are just very fickle, stubborn, a lot of things. Like they don't tend to be very good people. Like they are very facetious, and they don't like to be called out for what they do. There's no call out culture in Japan. Japan is very conformative and non-combative. So you know when you consider that culture that they have, it's something that's never going to change. But you know it just doesn't, it really baffles me to be honest. And what other conclusions can I draw from this little TV series? You know, I just don't like the. What did I like about it though? What did I like about it? Instead of talking about what I didn't like, what did I like about the show? I liked the way that it was set up. All the different judges and how they were sitting in those board meetings. And it's crazy, like the amount of work and the amount of and the trial was supposed to only last 6 months, but it ended up lasting more than almost 2 years. Dude, the trial lasted for almost 2 fucking years. Think about that for 1 second. Well, the first episode, they kind of just lay the basis for the foundation of the trial, and they basically just talk about how they should respect the charter, blah blah blah, and then Rowling says that they should deliberate more about the crimes of aggression, so that future legal minds do not question their deliberations there. But yeah, I agree with that. You should definitely, when you're passing judgment on someone, you should really look at every single aspect of the case really well and dedicate a lot. Dude, they dedicated 2 years of time on this. Like, what more time can you ask for? Like 2 years, 2 fucking years, and so much testimony, hundreds of people, and you're telling me that's not enough information. Yeah, if you guys like this kind of stuff, then yeah, sure, go for it. But if you're not the kind of person that likes intellectual stuff, or you don't like listening to historical references, and you just like anime, or you just like One Piece, then this series is probably not for you. It's probably not for you. It's probably not for you. It's for someone else. It is what it is.